Hello, in this tutorial we are going to be designing this part that someone sent to me, and I do apologize that it took me a while to get to it. My personal life has been kind of busy lately, so I haven't had much time to record. But to start, just click new, start a new part file, and make sure your unit is an inch, so you can change your unit here and under the document properties unit, and you make sure it's an inch. And looking at this part, we are going to draw the sketch. Our first sketch, which is this long pole, this one, we're going to draw it on the front plane. So click the front plane sketch, and I'm just going to move this here. And what I'll do is draw the shape of it. So you can start by just drawing the shape of it. So something like this. So I have an extra line there. I'm just gonna delete that. So once you have something like this, click this and make it a construction line. And now we can start adding our dimensions. So let's add the overall dimension of this line, which is, before we do that, let's fully constrain this part. So we know this dimension over here, the angle is 45. And the dimension from this point to the center line, if you click from the point to the center line, anytime you dimension from any point to a center line or any line to a center line and you move it to this side, it gives you the diameter, and that's what we want. So it's 1.5. And we'll do the same thing from this line to the center line is 2.5. And the dimension for this line to this line is 1. And so we have this fully defined. So now we can add our 5 here. So the dimension from this is 5. So that way that doesn't break. So we have, I'm just gonna move this, arrange this so it's neat. And the dimension from here to the center line, it doesn't really give it here, but looking at this, I'm going to make it the same wall thickness, which is 0.25. So from here, we just make this dimension 1.5. And our sketch is fully defined. You can draw an extra line here to close it, or SolidWorks will automatically add that line for you when you click your revolve. So go to feature, revolve, and once you revolve it 360 and click OK. Good. So again, we'll click on the front plane again, sketch, and this time we're going to draw this feature over here. So I'm going to go normal 2. So first of all, we're going to draw a line from the bottom going all the way up, something like that. Make sure it's a vertical line. Click that line, make it a construction line. Then we're going to draw another line that is coincident with this line and just draw something like that. And also click this line, make it a construction line. Then let's add our angle, which is 60 degrees. And the distance is 1, which is right here. So the distance from the bottom to here is 1. So our line is fully, this sketch is pretty much fully defined. So all we need to specify is this, and this line is 2.5. So you want to make sure you're going out line, not this way, this way. You want to go that way, and it's 2.5. And now what we need to do is just draw a sketch. So draw a line from this point up, something like this, and something like that. So when I was drawing it, SolidWorks automatically add the perpendicular constraint. So if yours doesn't have the perpendicular constraint, you can click on both line and add the perpendicular. So all this line should be perpendicular to each other. This line should be perpendicular to that. This line should be perpendicular to this. And this line should be perpendicular to that. This line and this line should be parallel to each other. And this line and this line should be perpendicular to each other. So that way is 90. Anywhere you have the turn, it should be perpendicular, and this line and that line should be parallel. So once you have that, we can add our dimension. So dimension from here to here is 2. And let me zoom in again so you can see this dimension over here is 0.35. this dimension from this line to the center line is, let me delete that, because I like doing the diameter. So from this line to the center line, move it over here is 1. And I have a fully defined sketch. Again, I'm just going to close that sketch to that point so everything is fully defined and closed. Then we go to feature, revolve, and we select this line and click OK. Good. So now we click on the front plane again, and we're going to cut this part inside. So front plane, sketch, draw a line going up. You can end the line somewhere around here, that's fine. And draw another line, just kind of draw something like this. Good. So I'm going to now I'm going to draw an arc from this point to that point, right? Something like this. And make sure this arc and this line is tangent to each other, and make sure this point and this line is coincident, and make sure this point, the center point and that end point, is horizontal to each other. So you should have something like this. Then make this line a construction line, and we're just going to add our dimension from here to here is 1, and from the bottom to the center line or to that edge is going to be 3.75. Our sketch is fully defined. And watch what happens now. I'm not going to close it, but if I click feature and I select revolve cut, SolidWorks is going to ask to, it's currently open, it wants to close it, and I'll click yes, and it has an extra line, and I'm going to select this line as my center line. And it's because I don't have a section. So before I do that, let me cancel my revolve cut, and let's section this around the front plane so you can see what's going on. So the line has been added, so I'm just going to do revolve cut, and you can see what's going on now. So, and I click OK. So we have this feature. So now the next thing we're going to do is cut the whole board through here. So again, sketch on this face, normal 2, and we're just going to draw a circle, and click the circle and click this outer edge and make it concentric to each other. So now you can add your dimension, and this dimension is going to be 0.5, the diameter, which is right here. And now we're going to go to and again, before I do that, I'll section it so you see what's going on. And we are going to go to feature, extrude cut, and we are going to select up to next and something like that, and click OK. So we have that. And the next thing we're going to do again is click on this face, sketch, number 2. So we are going to draw a circle. So if I hover over this, the center point of it comes on, and I can start my circle from that center point. Or you can just click this circle and that edge and make it concentric. It's the same thing. So we're going to make the diameter of that circle 1.5. So it's the center point for all those circles. So click that circle and make it a construction line, and add another circle over here. So click the center point of that circle and that other circle and make it coincident, and click the center point and this point and make it horizontal. So that way it is, because you can see over here, that's what we're making. And add your diameter to it, which is 1.25. And we are going to go feature, extrude cut, and we are going to select up to next. Click OK. And now we are going to circular pattern it. So come to circular pattern, and perimeters, you want to select the outside circle, the edge, and number of pattern is 6, equal spacing, and features to pattern, you can just select this circle on the face over there on the screen, and you have 6, and click OK. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is make this circle over here. So click on the front plane, sketch, number 2, and I'm going to section it so you see what's going on. And I'm just going to draw a line that is coincident. If you hover over this edge, you see this orange point, you can start your sketch from there just to constrain it to that, and draw a line that's kind of perpendicular to that. And I'm just going to move this line over somewhere over here. Let me close this and click a point and draw a point over here, and click this point and this edge. So if I hover over that, but you have to make sure you're not in the section, because if I'm in the section, let me show you, you won't be able to select that edge, or you can select it but it wouldn't work for what we're trying to do. So make sure you're not in the section and select that edge and select this point and add a midpoint relation so that point is coincident. Then click this line and that point and make it coincident, because we want this sticking out a little bit because we're going to do a revolve cut. Sometimes when you have it on that edge, the cut won't work properly, so you need to make sure it's sticking out a little bit. So I'm just going to draw kind of like a rectangle, something like this. And again, add your perpendicular relation to all this line. So this line and that line, perpendicular relation, this line and that line, perpendicular relation, and this line and this line should be parallel. I mean, we kind of have everything done, but let's just add the parallel just to make sure. And make the center line that a construction line. And we're just going to add a dimension from here to this point. Just something, we can add 0.1. And the diameter for this is going to be 0.2, which is right here. And we have a fully defined sketch, so I'm just going to close my sketch, feature, extrude cut. Before I do that, let me section it so you see what's going on. Extrude cut, I mean not extrude cut, excuse me, revolve cut. And we click OK. So we have that cut. So now what we want to do is circular pattern. And again, perimeter, we want to select any circular edge. And number of pattern for this is 8. And the feature equal spacing, and the feature we want to pattern is this circle. And we will click OK. So the next thing we need to do is just add our chamfer and fill it. We are almost done. So the chamfer is 0.05 by 45, so 0.05. And we want to add a chamfer in here and a chamfer somewhere here. I think there's one at that edge, and click OK. And for the fillet, click fillet, and fillet is going to be 0.1. And we want to add a fillet to this edge, that edge. There isn't one here, but we can just add one there, and this edge, and click OK. And there you go, we're done with this material, this part. And if I select my isometric view, and that is this part. So another thing you can do is just come to the appearance and metal, steel, spire somewhere down here. So I'll just select polished steel and I'll just drag this to it. And there you go, and this is this part. Anyway, thank you, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Please feel free to leave a comment if you have any question. Thank you. Bye.